I suggest watching Shinzen Young's video on enlightenment maps and models for this video. So, in that video, Shinzen goes into a whole spiel about maps, models, about being humble about the best that we've got so far and us not being very good, and he's correct 100% of the way through. So, here he's suggesting that science is going to be able to do what we couldn't. So a lot of us are stuck with a first person perspective. We have to navigate a lot of shit with it. Eventually we can start testing a lot of these things and be more certain of, because we know what functions and what works. We know quite a bit about how this whole thing goes. At least some of us do. I don't know about everybody. But at the same time, that does not constitute knowing. That does not bring it into the field of awareness. It isn't something that I can use very well. Now with science, once y'all hammer this shit down, and y'all get to the nitty gritty and y'all can finally go, yeah, we're not bullshitting this shit in ourselves now. You know, human beings kind of are like this. You know? Once we get that data set, well then, every other motherfucker now becomes a milestone. You know? It's like each one activates in a different way. But obviously we gotta wait for the science to catch up, and for now we're stuck in the land of possibilities. Everybody's confused about what the fuck they're doing anyway. Most of the time, it takes a lot to get down to the point where you're looking at this from a very scientific point of view with a skeptical mindset. You know, it's a rare thing. So finding people like that, cool as shit. You'll hear them doing, they'll be pointing at their metaphors in different ways, but always is gonna be nailed into reality. Or if they're so inclined, they can call this God, reality God. I don't care what you call him. The field. That's both in its present format as a noun, but also in its historical format as a consequence of many dens, or a consequence of the prior nouns. And then the realization that in order to extricate ourselves from the bog or swamp that we found ourselves in, we're going to take some out of the box thinking. So we're looking at science to help us improve, to help us validate our shit, and more importantly, it'll make certain that those of us who actually did put in the effort and know what the fuck we're talking about, we get a little bit more punch in our delivery with that, as opposed to all the other ones who will argue a bunch of imaginary stuff that kind of looks the same but isn't really. You ever heard of that? I have Zen koans about that. There's always that one guy, he's trying to teach the right stuff, but then always that other guy comes in and says there's magic powers too. So we need science to come in and clear that shit the fuck out, so those of us who put in the time and fucking effort can finally be fucking heard. So we're looking for a rope over here in this big ass swamp and bog that you built for us, scientists. We're looking for a fucking rope. Something to clear away the cobwebs. So, help us out. We'll be tight.